Hello and welcome. You're watching Champions Speak. I'm Abhishek Mahajan, and joining me is a special guest, Australian cricketer Nathan Lyon, Test cricket's 7th highest wicket taker, Australian great, Australia's most successful Test off spinner of all time, and currently playing for Lancashire. Welcome, Nate. Welcome to DD India. Appreciate you giving us your precious time. How have you been? And playing for Lancashire and you getting Ben Stokes out is all over the news.
Hey, mate. Yeah, thank you. It's been pretty amazing being here in England. It's a bit wet today, so it's not ideal for cricket. But no, we had a great result down in Blackpool against Durham, and it's amazing to play against Ben Stokes in the county championship. So good fun.
Nate, you emerge as a central character in all 3 episodes of the 3rd season of the Test. You had made multiple cameos also, including winning against India. Tell us more about this.
Yeah, well, the first game you'll see on the Test doco is the World Test Championship final. Obviously, in my opinion, you had the 2 best teams competing for the trophy at the Oval. And it's always a pleasure to play against India. It's a totally different experience for all of us to play against each other, but in England. Didn't really make sense, but it's a good experience, and very fortunate enough for Australia's benefit that we were able to play some really good cricket that week. But it's pretty amazing to play against the greats of Indian cricket.
Nate, also, sobbing uncontrollably after blowing up your right calf during a fiery contest at Lord's in Ashes last year. And you said this, that Australia would have won the series 4-0 if you were there. You want to share that emotion with us?
Yeah, obviously pretty raw emotion when I did my calf muscle. There was a lot of fear, unknown. Was my career done? How bad was the injury, etc. But I've been very fortunate enough to have an incredible family and an amazing medical staff around me and really support me through my rehab. And but yeah, I have been asked a lot if I was there, do I feel like the result would have been different? And the way I look at that, I see myself as a really big difference within the 2 teams that were competing at the time. But you are also asking a professional athlete, do I think I can win? I never go into any series or any Test match thinking I'm going to lose.
Has that encouraged you to play another Ashes in the UK in 2027?
Yeah, that's a plan. But we've got one. That's my big main goal is in long term is to ensure that I'm here representing Australia and competing for the Ashes in 2027. But we've got a massive couple of challenges ahead with obviously India at home this summer. Then the following summer at home we've got England Ashes at home as well. So a lot of cricket to be played, but one eye is on that future.
Nate, also, I want to go a little bit back from a curator, support staff, to becoming a cricketer and taking 500 Test wickets. Share that journey with us. You're a big inspiration for all the youngsters out there.
Yeah, well, I started doing curating at Monaco Oval in Canberra when I was 18. Then I moved down to Adelaide when I was 22 and finished my curating career there before getting the opportunity to play cricket for South Australia. Then happened pretty quickly, and I made my debut about 9 months after making my first class debut. And fast forwarding, I'm sitting here now representing Lancashire after playing 129 Test matches. So I've been extremely lucky, but there's been a lot of hard work along the way.
And you wish to share your best moments in cricket? You stuck the first ball of the Test cricket, maybe getting baggy green or taking 500 Test wicket, or comebacks maybe. What will you pick, your best moment?
Best moment. That's a very hard one to answer. I feel like receiving my baggy green is extremely special, but I've been able to play in some very special Test series around the world and play against some amazing people. So it's a pretty genuine answer, but I feel like being able to compete against some of the best players to ever play the game has been very special. The likes of Tendulkar, AB de Villiers, Virat Kohli, just to name a couple. So very, very, very lucky that I've been able to compete against so many people around the world.
Nate, we know, Ashes is the ultimate test for Aussies and England, but where does India stand in terms of competition, being an opponent for Australia?
They're right up there. If they're not number one, they're right next to it. They're equal number one. I've always said as Australian cricketer that the Ashes is a pinnacle, but the Indian series over the last number of years, basically since my debut for the last 14 years, India have been an extremely hard team to compete against at home and away, obviously. So India they've got the wood on us at the moment at playing cricket at home. So as an Australian cricket team, we're looking for a really good competitive summer this summer at home. But the Indian side, they're just full of superstars every time they come out. So it's going to be another big challenge for us.
And your favourite Indian cricketers of all time? Maybe Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli or some other?
Yeah, definitely Tendulkar, Kohli. But I'm going to say Jadeja as well. Okay. I've got a lot of time for Jadeja. He's very, very close to me. I'm a big fan of Ravi.
Okay. Nate, also T20 World Cup is coming up. Tell us your favourite picks. Australia looks strong on paper.
Yes, I've got obviously a biased eye, but I think in the final will be Australia versus India.
Okay. Any other favourite team apart from India and Australia?
I think England will be in the top 4 with South Africa.
Okay. And Nathan also, 100 consecutive appearances in Test cricket. How did you do that? Tell us about your fitness level. How did you do that? Seldom it happens, non-stop on the trot, 100 Test matches.
Yeah, it's something I'm very proud about. It's to be the first bowler ever to bowl playing 100 consecutive Test matches. It's been a lot of hard work. Got an incredible fitness trainer in Tom Carter. He's been my go-to.
And last question before we wind up, Nathan. Advice for youngsters who want to play cricket professionally. What do you want to tell them? They don't know where to start from.
I think you need to really ensure that your main skill is extremely consistent. If you're an off-spin bowler, that you're trying to spin the ball as hard as you can and try and land the ball in the same spot every time.
All right, Nathan, we'll wind it up. It was great talking to you. Take care and all the best for your future endeavours. Thank you for speaking with DD India.
Thank you.
All right, we are slipping into a very short break. On the other side, Australian captain Pat Cummins will join us. Keep watching Champions Speak.
Wherever news breaks, whatever it takes.
Connecting corners, cutting across continents.
Stories that matter from across the globe.
Accurate, authentic journalism that serves you right. From politics to glamour, from sports to world affairs, with a fusion of aesthetics and substance. Introducing news in a new avatar. Experience the world through a new lens. Stay tuned to DD India for an exciting journey beyond borders.
Voice of a rising aspirational world. Stories of challenges, struggles and accomplishment. A world battling conflict, hunger and poverty. Embracing growth, development, science and technology. A voice of progress, a voice of unity. Watch Voice of the Global South with me, Akshay Dongre, only on DD India.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching Champions Speak. We are joined by Australian captain now, Pat Cummins, captain of Sunrisers Hyderabad in Indian Premier League 2. Welcome, Pat. Welcome to DD India. Appreciate you giving us your precious time. What do you have to say about the test? It also shows you revealing that it was your plan to stump Johnny Bairstow in the Ashes.
Johnny Bairstow's walked out of his crease here. This could well be out.
Yeah, good to be on here. Yeah, it's an amazing series. This one captures a lot of the intensity of the Test series with the Ashes Test series and also the World Test Championship final from last year. So, yeah, amazing series. I'm sure people will love it.
But also, you said in the doco that there's no bigger rival than India and England in Test cricket. But if you have to pick one in current scenario, who will it be, India or England?
There's no bigger rivals than India and England.
Look, it's tough. I think every series against both of them always has a story. I think the history of the Ashes is really hard to go past. But obviously, this summer we've got the Border Gavaskar Trophy in Australia, which we haven't won for a couple of series. So that one's going to be a big one.
Okay, but when you speak with Virat Kohli, he's very soft-spoken, very calm off the field. But once he goes onto the field, he's a completely different person. Are you also like that? In fact, there have been few close-ups in the test where you are quite pumped up.
I try to be pretty consistent whether I'm on the field or off the field.
Okay.
But these are pretty intense kind of series and moments. So of course you're not always going to be the same. Emotion comes into it. So you see that a couple of times throughout this series, but for the most part, I try and, at least on the surface, look pretty calm.
Yeah, but Pat, I mean, playing for the country is the biggest thing, and playing for Australia with that baggy green cap on, tell us, how big is that for you?
That's huge. It's what we all grew up watching and idolising, and that was always, a goal or wish, was to represent our country. And yeah, we feel really lucky that we get to do that, and it's not lost on us every time we pull on the baggy green and play for Australia, and especially in big series that you remember as a kid watching, being in those moments. It's always a little bit surreal.
Pat, have you seen the final cut of the test? Happy with what all is there, what all is being shown? There are some visuals when you see and you're like, okay, is there how we were? You were so pumped up, not only you, the entire team.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, really happy. Yeah, there's always some moments that you kind of look at it and go, oh, did that really happen? It's not how I remember it or whatever, but it's real. It's right there in footage. So, yeah, I think you see a great representation of what was happening behind the scenes for those couple of series.
And a word on Nathan Lyon's calf injury. I mean, do you also believe that he was there in the team, then Australia would have won the Ashes?
I mean, we'll never know, but he's a huge part of us winning, say, that first test, and he's probably our most important bowler. So he was a huge loss. You can see how much it meant to Nath as well. It was the magnitude of what he was feeling. So yeah, it was a big loss.
But Pat, I want to go back to that incident. I mean, things got ugly even in the sanctity of Lord's long room. David Warner and Usman Khawaja got into an argument. You want to explain what exactly happened?
I mean, I think you can see it on the documentary. It was quite fiery when we walked back in for the lunch break. There was certainly some MCC members who wanted to be heard and voice their opinions, and yeah, it all got very heated. So yeah, you'll see that kind of in the documentary. It's funny looking back. That was 12 months ago. I'd kind of forgotten some of that magnitude until you watch back.
But Pat, I want you to answer this. I mean, tell us about your best moments in cricket, becoming Australian captain, wearing that baggy green WTC, which is there in the test also, or winning World Cup under your captaincy.
I'd say the World Cup.
Okay.
It's pretty hard to go past last year's, ODI World Cup. It's just, that's a, these other series are huge. But they're only a two-horse race, whereas a World Cup where every team in the world's coming together trying to win that trophy. I can't see a moment that's going to top that.
Difficult to express in words, but you actually disappointed the Indian fans in Ahmedabad on 19th November last year, but impressed everyone with your skills. How big was it for you after everyone was rooting for India?
I think that's what adds to the kind of the magnitude of the win, really. It's India played fantastically. They were the form team of the tournament, and we just had a really good day. It all came together for that final. So I've heard a lot about it over the last couple of months here in IPL, hearing everyone's stories of heartbreak on that day. But I wish I could say I'm sorry, but I'm not.
But happy with how cricket has evolved over the years and is evolving. T20 has changed completely with all the leagues coming up.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's never been healthier, really, cricket. If you look at the amount of opportunity for players to play, but also for fans to watch cricket. It might be a different format, but T20 cricket, there's a league basically in every country around the world that plays cricket. There's cricket happening basically 24/7, 12 months of the year. So, it's great. I think, T20 cricket is very different from Test cricket, but it's still cricket. I still love playing it, and feel lucky that the diary is always quite full.
But T20 World Cup right after the Indian Premier League, you think you have the team to win the trophy? Because I was speaking with Nathan Lyon also. He has predicted India versus Australia final.
There you go. I hope so. We've got a really similar squad to what we had in 2021 when we won the World Cup. That was only a few years ago. So I feel like we've got the guys that have done it before, got lots of experience there, plus a couple of, young guys. So it feels like we've got a really good mix. It's T20 cricket. You never know what's going to happen, but I feel like we're pretty well placed to be up there.
And enjoying managing the young Indian cricketers in India?
It's been great. It's my first time captaining an IPL side, captaining a T20 side. And I've really, loved working with our players. Got a great bunch of guys. With the bowling, it's quite experienced. Bhuvaneshwar, Unikat, Natarajan. That's been great for me. And then lots of, energetic youngsters, Nitish Reddy, Kumar, Abhishek, guys like this. It's always refreshing to see them come through.
And the team is in positive mindset after they lost against KKR?
Yeah, didn't play our best game. In fact, it was probably close to our worst game. But that happens. We've been playing some awesome cricket this season. So, aim to put on one of our better performances, and we think on our day we can beat anyone. So that's what the aim is for tomorrow.
And Pat, you are a role model for a lot of youngsters out there, not only in Australia but all over the world. In India also, people are a big fan. But what message do you want to give to the youngsters who want to play cricket professionally but they don't know where to start from?
This might be a bit counterintuitive, but a lot of luck's got to go your way as well as hard work to be a professional cricketer. So, I always like having interests outside of cricket. Fortunately for me, it's all worked out, and I've been able to have a long kind of career in cricket. But I'm one of the lucky ones. So I'd say just make sure you keep loving cricket wherever you're playing. Always keep trying to get a little bit better. Always take it seriously, but don't kind of put all your eggs into the cricket basket.
And Pat, you have been playing with Indians quite often now. You have been playing against them too. Who will be your favourite Indian cricketers from the current generation and from the previous lot also?
I've had some amazing rivalries over the years. I probably won't single out any one person, but there's a whole list of guys that have been playing for a long time. Guys like Rohit Sharma, Rahul, Virat Kohli, Pujara. Yeah, some of these guys I feel like have been playing for 10 years.
Tendulkar also maybe from
Boomer
the
a lot.
yeah.
So yeah, wonderful rivalry, and you know, this year we've got a home test, summer 5 test matches, so I'm sure it'll keep rolling on.
All right, thank you, Pat. It was great talking to you. Take care and all the best for your future.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
All right, that was Nathan Lyon and Pat Cummins. Hope you enjoyed watching them. That's all we have in this edition of Champions Speak. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.